What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams. Happy Saturday, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new release film, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, featuring the voice talents of Micah Abbey, Shaman Brown Jr., Nicholas Cantu, Brady Noon, Maya Rudolph, John Cena, Seth Rogen, Giancarlo Esposito, Ice Cube, Jackie Chan, Paul Rudd, and Post Malone. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's Saturday, which means it's new release Saturday. And today we're going to be taking a look at a film that came out earlier this month. We're going to take a look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And as our movie opens, Techno Cosmic Research Institute, or TCRI, Executive Cynthia Outram sends a squadron to hunt down the rogue scientist Baxter Stockman, who has created a mutagen in order to form his own mutant animal family, starting with a housefly. Stockman is interrupted by Cynthia's strike force and is killed in the resulting explosion, while the mutagen falls into the sewers of New York City. 15 years later, the Turtle brothers, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo, have all been raised by their adoptive rat father, Splinter, after all five of them were transformed into humanoid mutants by Stockman's mutagen, which they call ooze. Being chased away by humans led Splinter to distrust humanity, and so he trains his sons in the art of ninjutsu, instructing them to only leave their home in order to steal supplies. Now teenagers, the Turtles long to live as normal high schoolers, much to Splinter's dismay. During a supply run, the Turtles defeat a gang of criminals in order to recover a stolen moped belonging to a teenager named April O'Neil, revealing themselves and their origins. April, who is an aspiring journalist that is struggling to move past an embarrassing viral incident of her vomiting on camera, has been investigating a series of robberies of technology by a criminal known as Superfly. The Turtles plan to stop Superfly and, through April's reporting, win public acceptance as heroes. They intercept a piece of stolen technology and meet Superfly in the process under the Brooklyn Bridge, discovering that he is not only a mutant himself, but is the leader of a mutant gang. Ecstatic to meet fellow mutants, the Turtles bond with Superfly and the others, and he explains that they were created by Stockman, evading TCRI and living on an abandoned ship in Staten Island. The Turtles try to intervene, but the gang escapes with the equipment while a tracker that TCRI installed on the equipment falls back with the Turtles, allowing them to get captured. At TCRI headquarters, Cynthia painfully milks the Turtles for their mutagen, but April arrives with Splinter to rescue them. At the gang's hideout, Splinter and the Turtles convince them that their plan for domination will make them no better than the worst of humanity, and together they turn on Superfly, destroying his machine. However, the ooze falls into the water, combining marine wildlife with Superfly, who then transforms into a gigantic whale-like kaiju after grabbing animals from a nearby zoo. He attacks the city, and the turtles and the other mutants attempt to stop him, but are assumed by the public to be monsters. April overcomes her fear and anxiety and commandeers a news broadcast in order to explain that the mutants have good intentions and the citizens of New York come to their aid. Leonardo finds his voice as a leader, and with the help of the citizens, other mutants, and his fellow turtles, he drops a canister of TCRI retro mutagen into Superfly's blowhole, turning him back into a collection of normal animals. Reconciling with Splinter, the turtles, April, and the other mutants are celebrated by the citizens of the city. The mutants soon move into the sewers with Splinter and the turtles. Splinter and Scumbug fall in love, and the turtles enroll at April's high school, where they are all embraced as heroes. In a mid-credits scene, the turtles enjoy high school life, while the turtles and April enjoy themselves at prom. They are under surveillance from Cynthia, who is holding the now unmutated Superfly captive, and plans to recapture the turtles by enlisting the aid of the mysterious Shredder as our movie comes to its close. I was very skeptical going in this, if I can be 100% honest with you guys. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of seems to be like Batman and Superman, whereas every generation kind of gets their own version of it. I was around and watched the 80s cartoon series, which then spiraled into the 90s movies with the rubber suits and the ninja rap and Toka and Razar. And then came the I want to say it was mid to late 2000s computer animated version. Then came the live action version with Megan Fox and Will Arnett and those guys, and Tyler Perry as Baxter Stockman, and Seamus as Rocksteady. And now here's this version, and that doesn't even count all the animated versions that existed on TV in the meantime. But the Turtles kind of feel like that type of thing where every few years there's a new iteration of them for the new generation of children growing up. And on one hand, that's a great thing. But on the other hand, you run the risk of the people that grew up with the original versions turning their backs on these. So I was very skeptical going in. The main things that attracted me to this movie going in were John Cena, Ice Cube, and Jackie Chan. Those were the three draws for me. And you think about my age, and that makes perfect sense. John Cena is obviously going to draw me because of the wrestling connection. Ice Cube, I've been listening to since the early 90s. And Jackie Chan, I've been a fan of, we'll say, since about the Rush Hour series came out. Because I wasn't that familiar with his Japanese work and his Hong Kong work before coming over mainland to the States. So Rush Hour was really kind of my introduction to Jackie Chan. Maybe Rumble in the Bronx, but that one didn't resonate with me the way that Rush Hour did. So I went based on those, and they didn't disappoint me. Ice Cube as Superfly was freaking outstanding. He carried the movie. He stole the show. Paul Rudd was another voice that was in here. Very good job. John Cena, to his credit, everyone jokes about seeing a movie with John Cena, and why would you go see a movie with him when you can't see him anyways? This is a cartoon, but I didn't recognize him either. He did a good enough job as a voice actor that I didn't recognize his voice. Kudos to you, John. The story, I thought, was well thought out. The story, I thought, was well thought out. I like how they gave us the origin without beating to death the same origin. They kind of gave it a little bit of a different spin. I like the fact that Baxter wasn't the Fly, which is what it has been in pretty much every other incarnation that there ever was. As Baxter Stockman became the Fly, kind of playing off of and I know there was an original version, but you have to think of the time, kind of playing off the Jeff Goldblum version of the Fly back in the 80s. Again, I realize there was a version that existed in the 50s, but when you think about the timing of the Turtles cartoons and the comics and the Jeff Goldblum Fly, it just seems to mash up a little bit easier. I like the fact that they didn't give us the Shredder right away, and they made us kind of wait for him. My only concern is box office performance. I'm not sure how Turtles is doing in theaters, if it's made what the companies think that it should be making to guarantee a sequel. I hope we still get one and we get to see Shredder come. And the reason this concerns me, and the reason why it's something I bring up, is you think about the 2017 Power Rangers reboot. They teased the debut of Tommy Oliver in the mid-credits scene. Power Rangers didn't get a sequel. So we never got the resolution of that tease of Tommy Oliver, who is thought to be the greatest Power Ranger in Power Ranger history. Arguably. And we'll get more into Power Rangers next week when I do the few episodes I'm going to do as part of my Power Week. But the fact that they waited on Shredder could very much be a blessing, or it could be what kills them by not giving us that right away. And I hope that Turtles has done well enough at the box office in order to get that sequel. All in all, though, when it comes to my rating of Mutant Mayhem Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think it was very well done. I wish that the voices of the Turtles had been more established people, but there's also something to be said for some unknowns. So I'd like to see how these guys progress in their careers. I'd like to see if we get another installment of this franchise. If those things happen, if upon repeat viewings I enjoy this as much as I did in theaters, very well could go up. But for right now, I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5 stars for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. What do you guys think? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. And let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you guys for in the comments below. Now, we've got a very busy 24 hours ahead of us. So make sure you guys tune in later on this evening, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse Media as we present the Saturday night shenanigans that are Open Mic Night. Myself, the Simple Man Noah Foster, the Heeb Man James Hebert, the West Coast Professor Jeff Meacham will all be in attendance, as well as whoever else decides that they want to step through the club doors, up to the microphone, and engage us in the week of professional wrestling. We are definitely going to be talking about the passings of Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt on the episode tonight, as well as a few other topics that have occurred within the last couple weeks that we feel need discussion. And then tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, it's a fun-filled day of watch-alongs, as beginning at 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern, the Multiverse of Media begins its coverage of AEW All In, live from Wembley Stadium. Immediately following that, on the Multiverse of Media, will be a special open mic night happy hour, where we will discuss things like the resurgence of Maven Huffman, storyline elements that you may not have noticed from Karrion Kross, who is on your Mount Rushmore for WCW, and so much more. And then later on in the evening, no sleep, no rest for the wicked. Impact Wrestling presents Emergence, beginning at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, across the multiverse of media. Plus, we will be giving a recap of night 2 of NWA 75. And then on Monday, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, will be another double feature of Renegades reviews, as I will be breaking down and discussing Pocketful of Miracles and The Great Race, as we continue to celebrate my girlfriend's birthday and begin to wrap up the month of movies. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the greater Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. We've got open mic night, all-in watch-along, emergence watch-along, open mic night happy hour, double feature on Monday, and so much more still in store right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Again, you don't want to miss any of it, so make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE watch-along coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of the Ninja Turtles, fans of Ice Cube or Jackie Chan or Paul Rudd or Post Malone, fans of Maya Rudolph, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content, this video. Share it with them, as it's the only way we're going to keep my visibility up in YouTube's algorithms now that we are in fact a monetized channel right here on the platform. Thank you once again to everybody out there who joined me and tuned in this evening. It means so much more to me than you guys will ever know. I will see you guys next time.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the Stat Boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.